Hello, darling. Welcome to Style and Consciousness with Virginie. I'm very excited. Today we're going to be talking about Angelina Jolie, and she's a very interesting case. So as you know here, well, if you're new here, we talk about iconic essence, how to unlock your iconic essence, which happens through the first step, which is discovering your two elements out of air, water, fire, earth, and space. Okay. When you do that, you're able to unlock and start embodying your most amazing, aligned, gigantic, cosmic, whatever essence, frequency. You begin embodying the truth of who you are, the truth of your essence, which is really exciting. A lot of people around the world, because of the way the earth is set up, right? The kind of structures in the 3D, a lot of people learn from a very early age that it's not actually okay to express their actual essence. And so they might default to other elements that aren't theirs. For example, I'm air and space. And for many years, I defaulted to earth because I felt like, without even knowing, without having this sort of framework, I just can see it now very clearly. I wanted to be considered smart. I wanted to be considered organized, dependable, reliable, and I wanted to be taken seriously because my air made me feel like I was kind of too fluffy, too cutesy, too happy-go-lucky, and that I felt like it kind of took credibility away from me and people didn't take me seriously. With my family, there was a lot of earth, right? So you have to get a job like in this way and make this much money to take care of these things. So it was very regimented, which tends to actually be very soothing and yummy to earth. However, I'm not earth. So I tried to even dress like earth for many years, and it didn't really, again, it didn't make me feel happy. I felt invisible a lot of the time, right? It can feel like you're in disguise. It can feel like you're just turned off. It can feel like everything is just kind of boring and meh, right? The beautiful thing is, as soon as you start dressing in activated outfits that truly allow you to embody your elements, something really magical happens, and it's like your energy field just expands so much. The way you see yourself, the world, you just change filters and lenses, and you're operating in a whole different way. Okay. And so obviously the way you dress is it can often also be a reflection of your inner world, right? Because our inner world is projected outwardly. So if your inner world, if you're in your inner world, you're maybe feeling insecure or not worthy, or maybe you're angry, or maybe you're sick of not being taken seriously and you want to flip everybody off with how you dress, whatever. There can be lots of reasons. You're going to project that outwardly. And that's why I wanted to talk about Angelina Jolie today, because I think she's such a it's a very fascinating case. So when she first came on the scene, I remember I was probably early 20s-ish. So late 90s, early 2000s, she came out and just blew SHIT up. She was obviously gorgeous and talented, and also she was so edgy. She was so right, I'm looking at photos right now, just all these tattoos and low cut leather pants, and see through shirts, and just all the leather jackets you can imagine, and her hair dyed black. And do you remember when she had Billy Bob Thornton's Blood in a Vial? So all of that is very fire. It's very intense. It's very, edgy. It can make people uncomfortable. It's very in your face. The photo, she also was always earth. So it's still, what she wore was definitely fire and, edgy. And it was still simple and grounded, right? A lot of black t-shirts and jeans. So there was a simplicity to it, which is very, very, and a classicness, which is very earth. So that always kind of got a voice. Okay, so hold on. Fast forward to a couple weeks ago, I saw an interview of her after she did an interview with I believe it was the director of her new Maria Callas movie, and she was sitting down, and she had blondish hair. She had such a soft, gentle, serene vibe, wearing a dress that's just this beautiful satin or silk, and it's just very drapey and very gentle and soft and soothing. Just her whole aura, her energy was just so serene and so feminine. And when I say feminine, it's never about female male. It's just that energy of just gentleness, and it's curvy, and it's soothing, and it's very welcoming. That's how she was, and even her voice was soft. And she even cried, teared up a couple of times. These are things that never happened when she first came out and she was presenting as fire. So from seeing this, it became very clear. And she was talking about how over the years, and even through this experience of preparing for this movie role, she realized that for years she's been trying to deepen her voice and speak in a sort of more aggressive way. And then now she realizes her voice, I believe she said she was like a soprano, and she actually has a soft voice. And you can just tell, there's this softness that she was hiding before. And I'm totally guessing here. It's not, I haven't read a bio, I haven't watched more interviews, but just visually, I'm sensing that back then she was probably angry and wanted to say F you to a bunch of people. And B, she also wanted to protect herself. So fire, like if you get too close to fire, you're going to get burned. So a lot of times if fire is like coming at you, you kind of back away. So for me, this was also a defense mechanism, right? She was kind of tapping into fire and defaulting to fire to keep people away, to stop herself from being hurt, which is actually surprisingly something that lots of water people do, because water is also more sensitive and introverted. So fire can do the whole like, I'm going to hurt you before you hurt me. I'm going to burn bridges. I'm going to burn out for your eyebrows. I'm going to scare you a little bit. And you're going to stay away from me and leave me alone, right? And so to me, this is what this is screaming. She was doing this perhaps with her clothing and to be heard, right? Also like, listen to me, look at me, instead of that water, which can kind of be more subdued and quieter. It still is powerful, just in a different way. So now after all these years, it feels to me that she's really come into her water. She is not defaulting into fire anymore. And that really shows like her inner world is now, she is accepting that softness, and she's embracing it, and she's ready to embody it outwardly. And the earth is still there. Like all the cuts of her dresses and her shoes are so classic. Like you could put her 50 years ago and she would still look amazing and stylish, which is so fascinating. So Angelina Jolie defaulting to fire, always still the earth there, and now embracing the crap out of her softness, that gentle power that water has, which is so beautiful, and just owning it with her earth as well. So you can see the clear transformation here. And I mean, you could always see that there was this gentleness behind the leather. Just, I didn't really see that. I now that I'm looking at the photos, I can see it so clearly now. Back then I was just like, oh, she's so edgy. She's so like in your face, right? She's so shocking, which are all fire things. So it's just interesting. She pulled the old wool over my eyes until recently, where I was like, wait a minute, she's not fire. And interestingly, she's someone who sometimes I ask people on social media, I'm just like, whose elements do you want to know? And so looking back at hers, I always used to say fire and earth. And it's very clear now that's not the case. It's water and earth. Okay, so if you have any other celebrities that you want me to look at through this lens of their iconic essence and the elements, put them down below. If you're ready to step in and start playing with your iconicness through your elements, you can click on the link below. It'll take you to my quiz. And you can also click, if you want to go even further than that, you can join my free 5-day Activate Your Iconic Style 5-day challenge. It's totally free. You just hop into my app, you download it, it's free, it's easy peasy. You get in there, you do the challenge. And then if you like it and you want to stay and explore, you can. And if you don't, you just delete it and get on out. It's easy peasy lemon squeezy. All right, so I'm Angelina. Please subscribe, leave a comment, tell me, give me your takeaways from this. What did you think? Do you agree? It's just fun for chit chat, right? So thank you so much for watching, and see you next time, darling.